Hey everyone, it's Milton again. This is my third video where I will continue my story from the point I left off last time. If you remember, I told you that I was going to catch my sisters and my so-called fake girlfriend Kristen red-handed during the birthday party. I was pretending to be drunk and going along with their plan. I even let them steal my cards and stuff and gave them my passcode. They were leaving and I was about to call the police when suddenly Natalie came back to my room. I quickly stumbled towards the bed and pretended to be passed out. I heard some shuffling and felt Natalie's presence beside me. She leaned down to my ear to whisper, "I know that you hate us and think that we don't deserve to be called your family, but trust me, Milton, we genuinely care for you." I know, I did. It's just that your success got to our heads, and I couldn't tolerate seeing you acting all arrogant with us. But in the end, deep down, I still care about you. Anyway, you're not going to remember any of this tomorrow, but I just had to get it off my chest. Goodbye, Milton. Take care. She then placed a kiss on my cheek that almost made me shriek and blow my cover. And after that, she left, leaving me in complete shock. As soon as she was out, I waited for a few minutes to make sure that she had really left this time. Then, I quickly got up and instinctively, my hand reached towards the phone to dial the police. But something made me pause. Natalie's words kept ringing in my mind. She cared about me? What kind of crap was that? Did she really think I would believe her after she took all my credit cards and bank account details? But she had no reason to say that to me, while she believed that I was unconscious. For her, I was not going to remember any of it. So could it be that she was being honest with me? I thought about it. She was my sister after all. It was not like it would make me happy to ruin her life and send her to jail. I knew I would regret it later. Ugh! I didn't have time for all these second thoughts. I had to make a quick decision. So without wasting any time, the first thing I did was transfer all my money from my original bank account to a different one, which I had just for emergency situations like this. At least my money was safe now. They wouldn't be able to withdraw even $1 using my credit cards because of insufficient balance. Now this also gave me more time to think. Should I report them to the police? Or not? To be honest, it felt like they were doing everything because they couldn't digest my success. And come to think of it, they were after my money. So, what if I got rid of the root cause? That is, my wealth. I mean, of course I wouldn't really do that. But what if I made them believe that my company was not doing well, and I had lost all my money in order to make it up to the investors? It would be hard to pull off, but I could give it a try. So, I braced myself. My plan was all set now. I knew that they would return in an hour or two after finding out that there was no balance in my bank account. I just lied down on my bed, waiting for them. Oh, and before that, I removed all the cameras and hid in a safe place. I wasn't going to use the evidence now, but I decided to save it. What if I needed it in the future? You never know with my crazy sisters. As I had predicted, they returned after an hour and barged into my room. "Milton, what the heck?" Kristen exclaimed, tossing all the cards beside me. "Why were we not able to make any kind of transaction, Milton? What did you do?" Natalie roared. "Just when I started feeling bad for you, you went ahead and did this." "What do you mean, started feeling bad for him?" Kristen narrowed her eyes at Natalie. "Don't tell me that you did something dumb and ruined our plan, because I swear, if you did, then I'm going to—" "Why are the two of you yelling? I have a headache," I groaned from my position on the bed. "Oh, right. He's not in his right senses," Kristen sighed. "He won't be able to tell us right now. He freaking told us his card pin in this condition. Why do you think he won't be able to tell us?" Natalie protested. "If you want to get the truth out of him, this is the only way. It will be really difficult when he is sober again." I had a strong urge to roll my eyes at this stupid conversation that both of them were having in front of a supposedly passed-out man. How inconsiderate. And I was not lying when I said that they were giving me a headache. Even their voices were plain annoying to me. "Right. Milton," Kristen started sweetly, sitting down beside me. "Did you give me the wrong passcode for your credit cards? Why didn't it work? Did you get the cards blocked?" "Are you stupid?" Natalie cut in. It clearly showed that the balance was insufficient. That means neither the passcode was wrong, nor the card was blocked. Please use your brains. Natalie needed to decide whose side she was on. She constantly doubted me, yet she kept on insulting Kristen. Just how fickle-minded was this girl? Kristen glared at Natalie. If you are so smart, then why did you insist on coming back here and asking Milton? You have it already figured out, then why are you wasting our time? But he still needs to tell us where did all the balance from his bank account go, Natalie said. This was my cue to start acting. Please stop talking about money, I said somberly, sitting up straight. Both of them glanced at me in shock. Milton! What happened? Why do you sound so upset? Kristen asked hesitantly. Didn't you like bragging about your money? Natalie added. What the heck? When did I ever brag about my money? Was this girl delusional or what? Did she imagine things? Oh, God. She probably was so salty about my wealth that she formed twisted scenarios in her head where I apparently bragged about my money. Seriously? Well, now I knew why she hated me that much. She had created a false image of me. In her mind, and all of this, after I gave her a home to live in and paid for all of her expenses. Milton may be arrogant, but he never bragged or looked down upon us, Kristen corrected Natalie. Natalie rolled her eyes. How much do you even know about him? He is my brother. I know what kind of person he is. You should know your place as his fake girlfriend. I mentally facepalmed. I was going to lose my brain cells at this rate. Why are you two fighting? I clutched my hair, trying to appear frustrated. Trust me, I didn't have to try much. They had already frustrated me enough. Why are you talking about money? I told you to stop. There's no money. Everything's gone. The company, the money, everything. Kristen's and Natalie's faces seemed like someone told them that they could no longer breathe. But then again, money was like oxygen to them, so this was expected. Milton, what are you saying? Kristen shrieked. Wait, is he probably just saying nonsense because he's drunk? Right, Milton? Natalie coaxed. Kristen gave her an incredulous look. Didn't you say yourself that he will say only the truth in this state? Why do you keep contradicting yourself? I glanced at both of them. I thought you guys already knew. My company incurred huge losses and I had to pay back all the investors using whatever money I had. What the heck? Is that true? Natalie asked with widening eyes. He can't be making up such a big lie, Natalie, Kristen said. You shouldn't be ashamed that you are his sister and you didn't know any of this. You put me in danger by making this stupid plan that could have sent us to jail. How was I supposed to know? Natalie asked incredulously. He never tells me anything. I can't freaking read his mind, you know. Didn't you just say that you knew him the best, though? Kristen argued. Why do you keep going back on your words? There they go again. To be honest, they made the worst team in the world. They didn't even trust each other and kept on insulting each other at every given opportunity. How do they expect that they could efficiently work together? They were doomed from the beginning. Is there any use of even talking about any of it anymore? Natalie finally said. We were too late. He doesn't even have a penny now. He's useless. That's right. I can't keep on dating him, Kristen said before turning to me. Sorry, Milton, but I'm breaking up with you. Good luck finding a girlfriend with an empty bank account. Yeah, good riddance. I had tolerated her enough. Thank God I have some savings for such emergencies, Natalie said. I will now have to find a rich boyfriend with whom I can move in. Penny's already doing part-time work, so she will survive. Tina will have to fend for herself. I don't know about Mom and Dad. They will probably have to find jobs, too. If you have anything to spare, then please pay my debts, I pleaded, enjoying the heck out of this situation. Ew, shut up, Natalie made a disgusted face. How can you be so shameless? And I am going to rely on someone else myself. Don't ask me for money. Why don't you work too? Kristen asked her. Why do you always use boys for their money? This screams gold digger. Natalie scoffed. Look who's speaking. As far as I'm aware, you do the same thing. In fact, you were dating my brother for his money, too. Who's the gold digger now, huh? Did they seriously have to do this in my room? Right in front of me? Whatever. At least I don't backstab my own family members, Kristen said. You plotted against your own brother. That's just pathetic. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agreed with Kristen for the first time in my life. But that didn't mean Kristen was any less pathetic. Both of them were equally at fault, and no excuse could justify their actions. After arguing for some more time and increasing my headache, both of them left, and I could finally breathe in relief. Wow, I had shot 2 birds with 1 arrow. Not only did I fool them, but I also got rid of them forever. I was pretty sure that they would never bother me again, because I had nothing that could interest them. After that incident, everything grew quite peaceful for me. My family moved out of my house because they thought that I couldn't pay for them anymore and would leech off of them instead. Tina found herself a job too and moved out, wishing me good luck. She said that it was high time for her to become independent. I was honestly happy for her and how far she had come just in a matter of a few months. I remained only in touch with Tina after that. I had no idea what the rest of my family was doing, except for Natalie and Penny. Unfortunately, they were in my college and I had to cross paths with them oftentimes. They pretended like I was a stranger, and I gladly returned the favor. My reputation in college had gone down already because of them. They spread the rumor about me losing all my money and going bankrupt. Now, everyone who used to associate with me because of my wealth kept their distance from me. Seriously, I was happy with all this. I was so done with fake people. I needed only genuine ones in my life now. But I was starting to doubt that I would even get a girlfriend when everyone thought I didn't even have a single penny on me. Then again, it was better this way. I didn't need another gold digger like Kristen. At least now I would know when a girl would approach me for my personality and not my financial status. And it happened sooner than I had expected. There was this girl in my class whose name was Melissa. I had never really talked to her, but we were grouped by a professor for an assignment. The other group members were really wary of me and tried to avoid me as much as possible. Melissa was the only one who used to talk to me, asking me for my opinion on this and that, and acknowledging my input. It was quite surprising, honestly, because as far as I was aware, Melissa was from a really well-off family, and she was popular on the campus too. I'd expected her to be stiff and arrogant, but the case was opposite. I really regretted that I judged her like that. She was really outgoing and humble in nature. One day, she saw me sitting all by myself in one of those campus benches where students usually hang out. "Hey, Milton, what are you doing here all alone?" she asked me with a smile, occupying the space beside me. Well, I wanted to eat in peace. The cafeteria was really noisy and everyone was glaring at me as if I had just returned from jail or something, I replied. She gave me an apologetic look. People can be so mean sometimes. Why can't they just mind their own business and let you be? Ugh, this kind of stuff really frustrates me. Well, yeah, that's their job, I joked. Meddling in everyone's business, and if you're lucky enough, and they see any kind of personal gain from you, they will go all sorts of lengths to get on your good side. She chuckled. Have you always been this straightforward? I shrugged. What's the point of beating around the bush? We have enough people for doing that. Wow, I really like your attitude, she said, still laughing. Not to mention you are really smart and excel at academics, too. I scratched the side of my neck. No, I'm not really smart. I just work quite hard to score good grades. That's a good thing, too, she smiled. I can't believe that they judge you and talk about you behind your back. You're such a good person. Doesn't it bother you? I uttered curiously. That I have no money? Nothing valuable? I've always wondered why you were so nice to me. She looked down at her lap. Name and fame doesn't matter in the long run. I have seen my family breaking because of money, and misunderstandings caused by it. My mom and dad are both suffering because of it, and I only have my brother now who looks after our business and takes care of everything. He has become such a workaholic and doesn't have time for me now. So yeah, in the end, I have kind of lost everything, thanks to everyone's obsession with money. Now that only genuine feelings can provide you with happiness. I never thought that I would meet a person with whom I could relate so much. Maybe this was why I liked Melissa's nature. After that, we talked for a few more minutes, and then went our separate ways. But this was just the beginning of our journey. Melissa and I had bonded really well that day, and every day, we started hanging out together. It didn't take long for us to fall for each other and start dating. Everyone seemed quite shocked by this, because Melissa, the heir of a rich family, was supposedly dating a penniless man like me. And of course, my so-called sisters and my fake ex just had to interfere in my life. Melissa and I were in the cafeteria one day, when Natalie, Penny, and Kristen walked towards us. "Can we sit here?" Natalie asked, pointing towards the empty chairs. "No," I simply replied. They sat down anyway. Seriously, why did they even ask then? Hi, I'm Kristen. You might know me," Kristen said to Melissa. Melissa frowned. "No, I've seen you for the first time today," Kristen gasped. "I'm pretty popular in the campus. How do you not know me?" "You're kidding, right?" "Well, I have better things to do," Melissa shrugged, taking a bite out of her burger. I almost laughed at the whole scenario. Melissa was so good at messing with them. I had already told her everything about my sisters and Kristen. She knew what kind of people they were. The only thing I had hidden from Melissa was the truth about my company and wealth. She was under the impression that I had really lost all my money. I wanted to tell her everything, but I needed a right time for it. I mean, I had trust issues and I just couldn't blow my cover until I was completely sure. "I will get straight to the point," Penny said, bringing me out of my thoughts. "Why are you dating him?" She pointed in my direction. "When you can get better guys." "I don't see how that's any of your business," Melissa replied. "It is!" Natalie exclaimed. "He's our brother and we know him. We don't want you to ruin your life. Why don't you join our group instead? We'll have a lot of fun together. I have heard that your family owns a—" "Excuse me!" Melissa cut her off. "Stop talking about my boyfriend like that. And if you really know him so well and he is your brother, as you claim, why don't you do him a favor and help him out with his remaining debts? He bore your expenses for so long, right? It's only fitting that you should pay him back." The looks on my sisters' faces were priceless. Their jaws were hanging open. Kristen quickly excused herself, pretending to be on a phone, and ran away. Meanwhile, Natalie and Penny took some time to recover from the burn. And then, they scurried away too. Melissa and I had one heck of a time making fun of them once they left. Frankly, they deserved it. Even now, when they had broken all ties with me, they still wanted to ruin my happiness. Just when I thought that they had already fallen low enough, they proved me wrong. Those girls had no limits. A few peaceful weeks passed after that, and I was spending some of the best moments of my life with Melissa. Amidst all this, I got a call from one of my best business partners, James. He was hosting a party at a club and wanted me to come too. I agreed instantly, only if I knew at that moment that this party was going to be straight out of a nightmare. I went to the club and was momentarily lost because it was so crowded. I couldn't spot James anywhere. That's when one of the bartenders came to my rescue and guided me to where James was sitting around a table with a bunch of ladies. I couldn't make out their faces because of the dark. James came up to me and greeted me with much enthusiasm. "Milton, how are you doing these days? It's been so long since we met outside office," he shouted over the music. I nodded. "I'm doing better than ever. What about you? I heard that the latest investments brought you really big profits." "Oh yeah, all thanks to my sister," he laughed. "She pretends to be not interested in business matters, yet she gives me the best advices sometimes. That investment was her idea." "You have a sister?" I frowned. "I didn't know." He rolled his eyes. "How would you? You never came to any of the dinners I invited you to. You should meet my sister. She's as smart as you. It would be so great if someone could convince her to just join the company. She will make really huge profits." "Well, that's her decision," I said. "You can't force her to do anything." "Ah, no need to get serious." He patted my back. "Come on, man, this is a party. Let's enjoy. I'll introduce you to some of my friends. Come on." I really wasn't keen on meeting these friends of his. I wanted to get this over with and just go back home. These kinds of parties were really not my scene. Besides, I had only bad experiences when it came to parties. I sighed. My sisters had really ruined parties for me. James dragged me towards the table he was sitting at earlier, and pointed towards the girls seated there. I still couldn't make out their faces properly, but they seemed a bit familiar to me. Girls, meet Milton. He is one of my richest business partners. His annual turnover is in millions, yet he is the most down-to-earth person I know. Then James pointed towards those girls and turned to me. Milton, meet Natalie and Kristen. I met them through mutual friends. They're really fun to hang out with. I'm sure that I must have become as pale as a ghost at that moment. I could suddenly make out Natalie and Kristen's faces perfectly. Now that I knew who they were, they stood up in shock too. What the heck? Milton? Kristen came forward to examine my face. What did you say, James? He's your richest business partner? Natalie asked in shock. Oh yeah, why are y'all so surprised? He's well known around the city. It's nothing surprising, to be honest, James said, completely oblivious of what was going on. Wait, you must have been mistaken, Kristen said to James. He is probably not the person you were talking about. Yes, I think you had a little too much to drink, James, Natalie said. Go and take a break. What? James turned to me. Milton, tell them that I am saying the truth. Why are they behaving like this? I opened my mouth, but no words came out. What could I say now? My cover was entirely blown now. Man, I never should have come to this party. There was no way of getting out of this situation now. Oh, hey, wait a second, James suddenly said. That's my sister. Let me get her. James went towards where people were dancing and came back with another familiar person. I stumbled back in shock when I realized that Melissa was James's sister. She seemed equally shocked to see me, but then she smiled. Milton, what a coincidence! She came to my side. Why didn't you tell me you were coming to this party? Do you know each other? James asked, pointing between the two of us. Oh yeah, we're dating. We go to the same college, Melissa replied happily. What a joke, Natalie scoffed. Milton, did you lie to her too? Or does she know the truth? Natalie, we don't know for sure that Milton really is rich. Don't trust James, Kristen said. Melissa glanced around in confusion. What's going on? Milton, can you please tell us? James asked me sternly. Why are these two girls accusing you of lying? I took a deep breath. The truth is that Natalie is my sister, and Kristen is my ex-girlfriend. I lied to them about my company to get rid of them. I told them that I had lost all my money, but that is far from the truth. Melissa dropped my hand in shock and stepped away from me. What the? Why would you lie to your own sister? James asked. You freaking lied to me, too, Melissa yelled. Why? I thought that you were honest to each other. Why would you do that, Milton? Look, Melissa, I started, but Natalie cut me off. I will tell you why, Melissa, she said, shaking her head. He probably thought you were a gold digger and wanted to keep you away from his money. He does that, you see. He did the same thing to Kristen when they were dating. Kristen played along, nodding. That's true. He can never have true feelings for anyone. He sees the whole world as some place full of gold diggers. He was just using you to pass his time. I reached towards Melissa, but she held up a hand. My heart hurt when I saw her crying. You probably had a lot of fun, Milton, she said. All this time I was oblivious to your reality, and you're probably laughing at me. After all, you are no different than your sisters, right? You use people for your entertainment. Wow, I can't believe that I actually trusted you. Melissa, why are you crying? James asked her. Did Milton do something to you? Tell me. I will take care of it. Melissa shook her head. Just cut off all your business ties with him. He's a lying, deceiving jerk. Don't ever trust him. Melissa, please, I begged. Please give me a chance to explain. It's not what you think. They're lying. They're turning you against me. And why should I believe you? Melissa asked furiously. You are no better than them. You are a liar too. All this time you were dissing your sisters when you are the same. Don't ever show me your face again. Milton, please leave, James said seriously. I don't like seeing my sister upset. Please leave before I do something I regret. Oh, and as of now, all our business deals are terminated. I don't ever want to do anything with you or your company again. I didn't even know what to feel at that moment. I'd lost my girlfriend. Someone I really loved and adored because of a misunderstanding. And I had lost my biggest business partner. It was surely going to hit my company. It was surely going to hit my company. I was surely not bankrupt before, but now I was on the verge of it, because losing the deals with James's company meant a huge loss for me. Great. Just great! I think I had hit the rock bottom now. I looked up to glance at Natalie, who was giving me a smirk. "You had that coming, Milton," she said. "You should have thought before lying to us. Now suffer. You deserve this." "I will say this is too easy, in fact," Kristen added. "You deserve worse. You are such a lying, scheming, deceiving jerk. You played such elaborate tricks on us. Did you really think that you could get away with it and live your life happily ever after? Too bad that karma came back to bite you." I couldn't take it anymore. There was a breaking point to everything, and I had reached mine. There was only so much that I could take. I just turned around and got out of the club before I did something bad. I had lost everything within a matter of minutes. My sisters had successfully been able to ruin me. I hated this. I couldn't let them win. I had to do something about him. But I didn't know what. I had no direction now. It felt like I was completely lost now, and there was no one by my side to help me. That's all for my story for now. Let me know if you guys would like to know what happened next.